So I've been wanting to do a video lately to show a horse from start to finish. This is actually a friend of mine's. His name's Harley. I've done called him 5 or 6 different names. The most common so far is Pork Chop. She hasn't ridden him for 2 years. She actually got hurt on him. She broke a couple ribs. He's just been hanging around. And she came to me and asked me if I could get him ready for her again. So I wasn't going to, because I just don't do much of that anymore, outside training. But after I talked to her for a while, I kind of wanted to, mainly because I know he can be a good horse for her, and that's important. And I know she spends a lot of time and effort into her own animals and up at the horse rescue and all, so we're going to start off. What I can tell you is everything I do today, you should not try to do on your own. I'm going to be able to read this horse, to know what he's going to do before it ever happens. I'm going to assume he's going to buck when I put the saddle on. He's just obnoxious. He don't want to pay attention. And that's all stuff that's going to be fixed. And here's the kicker. I give myself 2 weeks to do so. So at the end of today, I'm going to try to touch a little of everything. And then in 2 weeks, I'm going to do a follow-up video to show how he is. So again, anything that I do, do not attempt to do. And if you do and you get hurt, don't call me and ask why it happened. So here we go. I guess I should also say, I don't know a whole lot about this horse. I have no idea if he lunges. I don't really know much of anything. I'm going to give him the opportunity to buck and carry on if he wants to before I get on him. I'm going to make very few suggestions, but the one I am going to say, if you're going to have a horse that's going to buck, don't let them loose in the round pen. I did do that once. Well, I did it a whole lot, but it finally caught up to me. So if he's going to buck and blow up, I want to have him where I can keep him off these panels so he don't hurt himself. As soon as I get him cinched up, I'm going to let him, in case he wants to go, I'm going to let him go, but I'm going to keep contact with him. He's lazy, he's way overweight. If he does anything, he's probably just going to crow hop, but we're going to see if my girth even fits him. I'm going to make it work. I'm going to have to get a bigger one for him out of the barn, but for now this will be fine. All he wants. If he's going to get out of breath because he's 150 pounds minimum overweight, in a minute here I'll take off the lead rope and I'm going to get him do some direction changes, really get him working, let him feel that saddle, because it ain't the saddle up there that's bothering him, it's just sucking him up and he don't like it. Keep moving. what I don't ever want is him to do that when I'm on the saddle. If he bucks me off, it's going to scare him, and it can teach him then a bad habit. Keep moving. Which everything I always do with horses, I set them up to make mistakes, but I don't ever want to leave a bad taste in their mouth. I set them up for the best possible outcome, not for failure. Get moving. So we'll let him do that all he wants. Come on. I can already tell he's hurt now. He wants to slow down over there because the horses are there. He's just a typical horse that's sat around for 2 years. Come on. Half wants to swing his ass in at me. Come on. When I do direction changes, I'd like them to face me when they do it. I'm not going to worry with him. I don't really care as long as he does it. That was actually really good. Other than he keeps spinning his butt right over me. Keep moving. So I wanted him to look at me. He did. Keep moving. And he's already showing me signs that he's pissed off. Kind of throws his head when I want to make him want to go. I'm gonna, for the most part, overlook that for the next day or two. All of these direction changes is a lot of work for any horse to move. But more importantly, he's paying attention to what I'm doing, and I'm making him do it, and that's really important. He's probably thinking, man, if I could just touch him, I'd love to. But the good news for him, in 2 weeks, he's going to have a really good attitude. He's going to be a good, honest horse. He's getting tired. He's getting slower with everything. I don't want to tire him out, but he's just getting dull already. So some of the things I'm going to do when I get on him is I'm going to give him opportunities to make mistakes. He's going to be pissy. He's probably going to kick up at my heels, and I'm okay with any of that. If he gets bucking and carrying on, I'm going to shut him down right away. And what I'll do is I'm going to do it more in turns. Whether I got to use the reins and crack him on his shoulder to help him pick him up, anything I got to do. What I ain't going to do is be in a straight, circle and let him just bust loose, because that's not going to be good for anybody. But most importantly, it's for him. So I don't think he's going to do much of anything until I ask him to start working. When I give him cues with my legs, he's going to get real pissed off about that, and he'll get out of that. He'll just be resentful. He ain't going to want that pressure and the heel and the kick and all that good stuff. That's just really typical of horses that sit around forever. I'm really not going to correct a whole lot today, so I can get through everything and it not be a 5-hour video. So if he moves when I get on him, so be it. As long as I don't think he's going to take off and bolt, I'm going to let it go. So any mistake he makes, I'm going to let him, and that'll give me an idea of where he's really at. I pretty well already can guess, but so be it. Automatically pull his head around. He's about out of energy, and probably really so am I at this point. That's okay. So I'm not going to kick on him right away, because that's going to piss him off. I just kind of squeeze a little. Instantly, he just straight up pinned his ears back at me. I'll go like this for a little bit, and then I'm going to probably use a little more force in turns. He just has to be shown who he is. The only thing he cares about is eating and absolutely nothing else. If he takes a good side step, I'm going to come off anyway. The saddle isn't real tight on him. I can hear he's swishing his tail behind me. His ears are pinning back. Some of that he could be listening to me, probably wondering who in the world I'm talking to. And as we're going here, I'm going ahead and giving him a little more leg each time. And in a minute, I'm gonna let him go. So watch when I come to the right, he kind of swishes his tail, gets pissy. That time he didn't really do it, but lots of transitions in case he lets loose. And as you saw, he ain't got a lot under him anyway. He just don't have that kind of energy. And I'm probably using a lot more leg than I need to, but I want to get my point across now. When I say to do something, that's what I expect. And I ain't wearing spurs or any of that, so not really that kind of a big deal to him. And much padding as he has, it shouldn't matter. He's kind of flopping his head. Ears are all over the place. He's shaking his head. Every time I lay my heels on him, he throws his head up. And really at any point he can throw his head down and get crow hopping a little bit. Yeah. So what little bit I've noticed off of him right now is whoever broke this horse actually did a really good job. I'm not going to spoil everything right now, because that'd be in 2 weeks, but he's gentle. As day goes by, he's going to get more pissed off about having to work, and I'm going to have to use more force. So that's why I'm getting after him right now. When I say something, I want it now. And that'll make my job easier down the road, but ultimately it is set up for the owner. It'll make it really easy for her, because she's, on the older side, and she's not a real confident rider after she got hurt. So I plan to make it real easy for her. Very unathletic, I can tell you. Get up. It's probably that gut under him. Of course, he stopped where the camera wasn't. That's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and let that be for the riding part. I'm going to take the tack off of him, bring the tarps and all that good stuff in here, and let's see how much of a reaction I get out of him, so I know what I got to work with. And over the next 2 weeks, starting tomorrow, I'll do a good bit of ring work with him, and then sometime in the next 2 or 3, 4 days, I'm going to take his big self out on a good trail ride, find out what bothers him, and then by about 4 or 5 days, there should be no mistakes out of him. He should be walking the line for the most part. I'll find out, because I don't know exactly how well he was about anything. So we'll go from there. So just hang out for a minute, and that's what we'll do. definitely needs work with the bit, getting it on and off. And that's fine, that ain't a big deal to me. If I remember right, the owner said she'd like to ride him in a bitless bridle anyway. As far as I'm concerned, that's perfectly fine, but he's still got to accept the bit and let me take one off without acting up. If I get all that right, he'll ride in a bitless bridle anyway, it won't make no difference. Try to desensitize your horse, be very careful. This is where you're going to be most vulnerable to a horse striking out at you, kicking, running you over, biting at you. Anything and everything that they can do is very possible. So he's not bad with a lunge whip. He's probably thinking, man, he just chased me with that thing. So he needs to learn the difference between moving and not moving. I'm not giving him any cues right now. Go with the car. That's good overall. Probably a pretty spookless horse, or somebody has worked with that stuff with him. Remember, end on a good note with a horse. Don't let them where they got done and you just give up and they're just scared to death. That's gonna leave a really bad taste the next day. He's actually a pretty good horse. We'll actually end end up having a fun time, I think. But by about a week, I can see I'll be just bored to death with him. But that's good. So I'm going to let it at that for today. See you in 2 weeks.